cold calls and pressure.
Yes.
Okay. I got a cold call the other day from a financial company. I'm going to call that number back and see what it...
Easy Solutions Australia. If you require any further information, please contact us at info@easysolutionsOz.com.au.
So that was, and they're calling on mobile numbers. So it's Easy Solutions Australia.
There's quite a lot of them. They advertise on Facebook.
Yeah, so this Easy Solution Australia, right, they called me about a passive income idea. And I said, no, I don't want. But I've just gone to the easysolutionsaustralia.com.au. It's a lead generation business. They're not money people. So their literal job is telemarketing and to line up the ducks to introduce to other companies.
They'd be wood ducks.
That's right. So, for example, the most reputable company in the world, insert whatever that definition is, and we'll make an example. Commonwealth Bank, the biggest bank in Australia at the moment, reputable, you would say. Well, they had a few issues with some ATMs and whatnot. Commonwealth Bank of Australia could engage Easy Solutions Australia and say, we want you to call randoms, ask them these 3 questions and get them to book in at the Commonwealth Bank website.
Yep.
So that's legitimate in the background. The problem I have is any type of cold call about anything to do with money, power bill, anything, I'm not entertaining it.
Yeah. And
even though if the underlying background is legitimate, my main question maybe is if you're that legitimate, can't you get clients in a more not annoying way?
Yeah. I mean, cold calling is a legitimate marketing technique. It is illegal in Australia to sell financial products in a cold call.
That's right.
So they couldn't sell you a super fund or a managed fund.
No, but they could call me a strategy.
But what they are allowed to do is to book in a call to say, would you like me to send you a PDS, for example?
On a passive income.
Or would you like me to book you an appointment with one of our advisors? That's all. Or one of the advising company who's paying us to do this.
Yeah.
All perfectly legit. But the problem with it is that catches you unawares, you're not in the right frame of mind, and it's often accompanied by high-pressure sales tactics. So very few...
Because I would hypothesize, and this is the joke of it all, you know, because Easy Solutions Australia has called me. I had a missed call on the Tuesday, and it's got a marker on my iPhone that it's warning, suspicious calling. So they called back, and, you know, I usually don't answer, but I was waiting on a call. I'm like, hello. Oh, I'm like, it's that same flipping number. You go to call them back, for example, their website, you can't call this company. Like, it's purely outbound.
And the thing you should look at is do the people who've called you have a financial services license?
Easy Solutions
And
Australia
I suspect
doesn't.
the Easy Solutions. No, they don't need a financial
right.
service license to run a call centre. So I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, but it means you're being promoted to by a lead generation company who's not an advisor. And the advisor who's getting that lead or paying for that lead
Could be the most legitimate person in the world. I'm still not entertaining it.
Yeah. And we see this all the time particularly around the property space. So the number of times you get a call going, would you like to save tax? Well, who's going to say no to that?
Yeah, and that's the whole, we want to talk about passive income. Like, okay, here we go. Yeah. But it's similar. You know, I was walking outside Chemist Warehouse the other day in the mall, and there's 2 people there from a charity. Hey, can we talk to you about charity? And I literally jokingly said to them, I'm like, I don't want to give my money to a charity who needs to pay 2 people to stand here and collect money from me. It's the job of one person. Like, so the charity outsource things, they're getting a cut of what they raise on the day. So it's I think a red flag because, number one, if you don't wake up today thinking I want to get better with passive income and that call comes in, you can go, oh, okay, that might get me thinking, but I'll then go and do my own research. Yeah. Use that as a prompt to,
free tip, that doesn't mean Google.
No.
But, it is it's a perfectly legitimate tactic for financial advisor to buy ads on Google, to take out a full page in the Fin Review. Some of our most prestigious financial advisors in the country will take a full page in the Financial Review from time to time. They might buy Google lead ads. Perfectly legit.
To be fair, I run a lead generation business. If you listen to our content and you learn something from this episode and you never engage ever again, awesome. But if you want to speak to someone who is a trusted advisor, now that's not to say you're going to vibe with their personality. That's not to say that they're the cheapest. That's not to say that they're most expensive. That's not to say that they might not make a mistake because human errors happen.
Yeah.
It is to say, if you go to my website, I will refer you to someone that I've physically met who I've sent you a client this morning, Vince. I'll talk to you about that. I literally just want anyone who listens to our stuff not to get taken for a ride.
Yeah. And it is a difficult buying decision because it's one of these, it's like a doctor. There's a huge asymmetry in information. So when I go to my cardiologist, I really have to accept that their diagnosis is in their best judgment. I quite like an old cardiologist from that sense. So I don't really want a 35-year-old cardiologist. I want someone who's been doing it for a while.
That's interesting.
And I
don't like my cardiologist is dead either.
No, you don't have a dead one, and but you do want someone who's been around the traps. And when it comes to investing, if someone hasn't lived through a serious downturn, do they really understand investing? On the other hand, you want an advisor who's going to be around for long enough. So you can't have 100% of both. What you want effectively is an experienced advisor working in a business that will survive them, so that there's a structure behind them, there's a team behind them, and when they retire, there's someone coming along behind them. So where was I going with that?
I don't know, but cardiologist,
dead. But the point being that you need to – there is an element of trust in this decision. So you need to look for the flags of trust.
Yeah, green flags.
So what are the green flags and absence of red flags? Traditionally, this was largely done by referrals. As the number of advisors shrinks and the number of people who need advice grows, that's becoming harder to do because there's lots of people now who have money that didn't have it and don't move in circles with other people who have advisors. The golf club was the classic place for referrals, and so that doesn't happen anymore.
Hey, it's Glen here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.